Hello everyone. Hi. Emuri だよ。Can you hear me? 聞こえてる？どうかな？ Can you guys hear me? Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello. Oh, great, great. I think it's working. Woo! So, my live streaming tab in YouTube is just lagging so hard, but I think the stream itself is working. So that's good. Woo! そうそう、なんかね、YouTube の画面見てるとすごいなんかラグしてて、なんか全然プレビューも見れなくて。Yeah, I can't even see the preview. I can't see the preview on my YouTube screen. So I wasn't sure if it was working or not. I hope the chat's working too for me. I hope it's coming in at the right time. まあ、今日はこれで頑張っていこう。I'm gonna do my best with this. I don't know. Okay, whenever something goes wrong, just type it in the chat, okay? And I hope I'll see it. Yeah, I know. YouTube's being so terrible today. And let's see. Hello, Gatorsaur-san. Thank you, thank you. Hello, J Maya-san. Arigato. Hello. Dreekafaya-san. Thank you for turning on notifications. Thank you. Taro. Hello. Thank you so much. I had so fun at our collab the other day. It was so fun. Arigato for coming. Adrian-san. Arigato. Hello. Dagu-san, konnichiwa. Arigato. Yeah. Maki-san. Arigato. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato, arigato. And I think I got everyone. I think. I don't know if it's my potato PC or if it's YouTube. はっきり言ってわかんない。ポテト PC か、YouTube が。でもね、本当にね、もう全然今 YouTube が反応してない。Yeah, like YouTube's not responding to me at all right now. But I see your guys' chat. Yeah. でもチャットは見れるから。But I don't know if I could send anything. 私から送ることはできないかも。まあいいや。And so yeah, tell me if anything goes wrong. なんかあったら言ってね、でも。I hope I can play the game. ゲームが大丈夫なら大丈夫なんだけど、どうなんだろうね。It's YouTube, you think? Okay. YouTube はひどい。確かに。Yeah, YouTube sucks. And guys, guess how many subs I'm at? 194! Which means I'm 6 away from 200! Woo! そう、今ね、チャンネル登録者数がね、194人なんだよ。200人、もうすぐ。あと6人で。すごい！ Woo! 嬉しい。Thank you so much, guys. もう超嬉しい。I'm sorry I kept the loading screen on for a while because it wasn't showing up on my end, so I wasn't sure what was happening. そう、ごめんね、ずっと、最初の方、now loading で。なんかね、何が映ってるか私側からは見えなかったからわかんなかった。ごめんね。ありがとう。小原好み。Who's 小原好み？誰？ Let me look her up. 小原。Oh! Voice actress! 声優さんね。声優さん。Oh! Wait, what has she done? Let me look. 遊ばせ。あ、かすみちゃん。かすみね。Okay. What else has she done? チカ！藤原チカfrom かぐや様。Oh! Wow, I definitely know her then. Yeah, I definitely know her. She's done a lot of characters, yeah. You think I sound like her? Or vibes? That's so nice of you. Thank you. Yeah. So many rules. Wow. I didn't read all of them, but すごい。But yeah, so I'm 6 away. Whoop, almost there. And I think 2 other big streams I have planned this week, so I'm excited. Yeah. How's your guys' week been? Yeah, it's been quite busy for me. みんなの1週間どう？今のところ。私結構忙しいんだよね、今週。でも頑張っています。And let's see. We should get on to the game. もうゲームやろうか。Before my PC dies. PC がちょっとやばいからゲームやった方がいいよね。You're busy too, 太郎さん。頑張って。Yeah, it's been a busy week, and I'm still gonna be busy. I might be quiet on Twitter tomorrow and the day after, because I'm gonna be dying with school projects. ちょっとね、明日としあさってね、ちょっとツイッターで、ツイッターから休憩取るかも。あんまりつぶやかないかもしれないんだけど、なぜかというと、大学の課題がちょっと多くて。ちょっとね、忙しいし、死んでるかもしれないので、大学の課題で。課題に溺れているかもしれないので、Yeah, I might be drowning in my college work, so yeah. If you don't really hear much from me, please understand. いつものんびり、よかったね。のんびりはいいことだよ。ポテトさん。Oh, test week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I have like tests next week. Most of my stuff is project based, so I have projects due this week and tests next week, and it's been so bad. 頑張って、エイリアンさん。William-san, hello, welcome! Greetings from Peru. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming to watch my stream. ありがとう。We're just getting started. ゆりかちゃん、ありがとう。来てくれて大好き。I love you, ゆりかちゃん。Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, Fabricio-san, welcome. Yeah, we're at 194. Woo! I hope you had a nice birthday, Fabricio-san. I remember your birthday was I think last time I was streaming Higurashi. Yeah. So I hope you had a good birthday. Okay, so today I'm gonna be streaming part 5 of Higurashi. Part 5をやっていこうと思います。今日はHigurashiの。So let's go. Let's get into it. I've been dying to play. That's kind of funny, right? Dying to play. But yeah. Oh wait. Let me tell you guys one more thing. Yeah, let me switch to gaming screen. Okay, wait. Let me tell you guys something. So I watched the first 2 episodes of the old anime, the original Higurashi anime from I think 2006 or 2007 to see how close it was to the visual novel, and oh my gosh, it was different. Like the general idea was similar, but it was like a speed run of everything I've done so far. They condensed everything I've done so far in this game, the hours of play, into 2 episodes. 私ね、先日古い方の日暮らしのアニメ見たんだけど、第1話と第2話。なんかね、全然違ったことはないんだけど、なんかね、今やってる日暮らしのゲームのなんか RTA 版みたいな感じだった。なんかね、もう何もかもすごい早く起きちゃったんだよね。Yeah, everything happened so fast in the anime that like there wasn't even much explanation or suspense to what happened. なんかね、サスペンスが足りなかった、本当に。なんか物事が早く起こりすぎて。Oh, hello, Trick-san! Hello! Welcome! Just woke up! おはようありがとう、来てくれて。Woo! Sorry, I wasn't really looking at the comments. コメントあんま読んでなかった。ごめん。エムリン大好き。ゆりかちゃんも大好き。 Higurashi is awesome, yeah. Definitely different because no, I really recommend the VN now. Like, even though it takes time, I think the VN again, I haven't finished the anime, but even though it takes time so far from what I've seen in the anime, I think the VN really gives you a different experience. Like a much better Higurashi experience. なんかね、やっぱりゲームの方が良かったと思った。アニメ第1話と第2話見て。それ全部まだ見てないんだけど、なんかゲームの方がいろいろ入ってて、なんかほんとサスペンスが良くて、なんかね、ゲームの方が好き私は。I think the anime focuses more on horror than suspense. アニメはね、サスペンスよりホラーの、ホラーにフォーカスしてるから。ホラーに注目してるから、ちょっと違うんだよね。But I heard season 2 of the anime is good. Does some things differently from the VN. Anyway, let me turn on the Higurashi BGM. There we go. Higurashi speedrun though, that's what it was. I was like, what even were those hours of gameplay that I went through just to get to that part when the anime got through it in 2 episodes? But it wasn't as good. It wasn't as good. Yeah, in my opinion. 私がね、アニメ見てたらもう、私が何時間もかけたのに、これは言いたいと思ったんだよ。もう何時間もかけて、そこまでたどり着いたのに、アニメはもう2話でたどり着いちゃったから。すごかったね。それはもう。でも、ゲームのが好きです。Yeah. You love the old anime? Yeah, I haven't finished it, but I think the problem is I started with the visual novel. I started with the game, so I think I like the game better now. Because it's just, there are so many things I could point out in the anime that were not, in the visual novel that were not in the anime, and I just missed those details. Anyway, yeah, the new one. I want to watch the new one, but I'm gonna play this first, and maybe the other visual novels too. そう、新しいアニメ見たいんだけど、先にこれを、鬼隠しをやって、そして他のゲームもやってから見ようかなと思う。がアニメね。ゆりかちゃん、if you need to sleep, go sleep. I know it's late for you. 遅いよね、ゆりかちゃんの時間帯だと。ごめんね。無理しないで。疲れてたらね、寝て。おやすみ。Alright, let's go. I hope you guys could hear the game audio and could see it. Yeah, I think I think it's still worth playing the VN though, in my opinion. I'm not sure though, because I haven't finished the anime. But there was just so many things that the Onikakushi part of the anime left out that were in the VN. There were just so many things. They might introduce it later, but anyway. Last week. Was it last week? Last time, we left off at the end of chapter 8. 前回は、第8章どうやって言うのに俺チャプター8っていうね。前回はチャプター8の終わりまで行きました。はい。そしてまあ何が起こったかというと、well, what happened last week was, we found out that Tomitake-san died. Rip Tomitake! そう、前回何があったかというと、Tomitakeさんが死んでしまった。はい。Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Tomitake. And what else happened? We lied to Rena and Rena got angry at us. そしてレナに嘘をついてしまい、レナを怒らせてしまった。はい。そして、レナが、ケイチ君をストーキングしてたことも知ってしまった。We also found that the Rena has been stalking Keiichi. And that's where we left off. そこまで行きました。はい。Can see the audio and hear the video. Good. I'm glad. Okay. ゆりかちゃん。やだ。エムリン配信見たい。No, I want to watch Emily's stream. Thank you. But, rest is important too, okay? Don't force yourself. Okay, good. The audio is working. And the video. Rena gonna access. Yeah, Rena. So where we're gonna start now is gonna be very freaky. Because now we left off on a very freaky part. Where we found our Rena's coming after us. 怖い。そう、レナちゃんがちょっとやばいんだよね。まあ、やっていきましょう。 Is it hard to switch between English and Japanese? A little, yeah, but I'm trying to get better at it. うん。日本語と英語両方使うのちょっと難しいんだけど。うん。I could get a little confused. うん。でも頑張ってます。I'm doing my best. ちょっとわかんなくなったりすることあるんだけど、何言ってるか。うん。あー、もう音楽は怖い。The music's already scary. Okay, we're on the right part. 怖い。超怖い。I'm scared. Okay. I'm gonna go into my Keiichi mode. Okay? Keiichi モードでナレーションします。Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day. What's wrong, Keiichi? You don't look so well. When did you go to sleep? It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Ataro-san! Bye! Thank you so much for coming! Good luck, good luck, good luck! 頑張って! Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease. It might be a cold. Oh wait, this is Keiichi. It might be a cold. I don't really have an appetite. My, you do seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school? Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. It wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? Yeah, it wouldn't really matter. It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a good day of rest, I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Oh, びっくりした. That kind of scared me. Ding dong, ping pong. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. Game audio? Increase a bit? Okay, okay. ちょっと待って。BGM? 両方かな? Oh wait, let me try something else. ちょっと待って。I'm gonna go to my preferences. How's this? どう? ちょっと変わった? Is this a little louder? わかんない。どうかな? Alright, tell me if it's good. Yeah, tell me if it's good, Yurika-chan. If I should put it a little louder, I'll still put it a little louder. I think the music's just soft here. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. Can't really see the audio good now. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Rena. It was Rena. Rena-chanが来た! 怖い! Rena-chan came to get you. What are you going to do? Oh, Yurika-chan, it's better? Good, good, good. よかった、よかった. What did I put it to? Yeah, I just raised it a little higher, the audio capture. Are you going to take the day off? Rena was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to be. It had to have been my cold. It just had to be. Yeah, everything's a lie. It's just your cold, Keiichi. But yeah, the audio for this game is important because it's called a sound novel. So make sure you guys can hear the audio well. このゲームはね、サウンドノベルって言われるからビジュアルノベルじゃなくて、そのゲームの BGM 結構大事だと思うんだよね。だからちゃんと聞こえてるかどうか教えてね。聞こえてなかったら教えてね。I'll rest. Sorry. Then I'll go send her off for you. Mom headed off to the door. I would have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Rena, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived I quickly fell into a deep slumber. 寝ちゃったのかよ。He just straight up ignored Rena. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. Oh no. The parents are gone. 両親がいなくなった。まあ、死んだのいなくなったじゃなくて、まあ、どっか行っちゃったみたいなんだけど。これはやばいね。レナちゃん入ってきたりしないのかな？ I bet you Rena's gonna come in. It likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. They would probably be back sometime after dinner. On the note, it said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." Is there a hospital in this village? There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. Oh, okay. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case went to the hospital. Yeah, Baba-san. Yeah, it sounds kind of like a flag, doesn't it? By the way, did I say hi to you, Baba-san? If I didn't, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato. Normally, I'd never be here in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mom's map, I took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital's sign came into view. Irie Clinic. Irie Clinic. I said it in Japanese accent. Irie Clinic was written rather stylishly on the sign. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. There was a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen. Maebara-san, please make your way to the examination room. Oh, Drake-san, ganbare, ganbare. Good luck on your exam. I hope you do well. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. Good luck. Ganbatte. And hello, Kamizato-san. Hello. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato. Thank you so much for subscribing too. I subscribed back. Yeah. Arigato ne. After properly answering all of the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." Why did you even go to the doctor? Just to be told it was a cold. They gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. I thought it was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. By the way, guys, did I do the tips? Did I read the tips? チップ読み忘れたもしかして Did I forget to read the tips? I don't want to interrupt, but like at the same time I want to read the tips first because I think they're important. どうしよう。ちょっと待って、一応セーブ。Okay, okay, okay. やばい、読んでなかったかも。どうすれば読めるI forgot the tips! Okay, we're reading the tips. ちょっとごめん。チップ読むよ、先に。Before anything major happens. How do I read the tips? Extras? Ah. Okay, what did I not read? I don't think I read this last one. Radio log. I don't know if I read that one either. 全然わかんない. I don't know what I read and didn't read. I guess we'll just have to check them out. いや、読んでいこうか。I think I read these two though. Yeah, let's check out the radio log. This is ごめん。 I keep wanting to say お好み焼き。おきのみやをお好み焼きって読みたくなるんだよね。読んじゃうんだよね、そうやって。おきのみ、Okay, anyway. This is Okinomiya Station calling Unit 3. Please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger, Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Ah, backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? Ah, Yappy Kujo virus. Good morning, just woke up. Ah, ohayo. Ohayo, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato. Emuri is hungry. Okidoki station. Ah. Anyway, affirmative. Understood. Ah, backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for. そんだけだった。Okay. Notice from the police chief. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General. To the Chief Constable and all... I can't read, and all facility managers regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa village. Notice. As cases in Shishiboni City, Hinamizawa village have been reported by certain sections of mass media, it has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinomiya Station 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village housewife murder, dated June XX. Okinomiya Station 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village student disappearance, dated June XX. That's Satoshi, right? Satoshi da yo ne. Number 2. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station 1979, case number X. Hinamizawa Village site foreman murder, dated June XX. Shira Station 1980, case number X. Shira Natural Park falling incident, dated June XX. Okinomiya Station 1981, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest's wife's disappearance, dated June XX. It drew global attention. I was thinking the same thing. 3. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Internal line. XXXX. Police Affairs Department. It drew global attention. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, really? Wow. Anyway, I think we read them all. これで全部だと思うんだけど。ねえ。Not many tips left, I think. まあ、はい。Back to the game! ゲームに戻りましょう。ごめんね。Sorry about that. But, you know, if there's a clue, I don't want to miss it or something. Which one was it? This one? Okay. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping. If it just wasn't for that word. Must have been an Onikakushi. I wonder. She was still pretty young. Might have just eloped. With whom? That man from Tokyo who visits every season. The young one with that big camera. Eh? Are they talking about the blonde woman that was hanging around with Tomitake-san? Didn't you know they were getting along pretty well? Were they talking about Tomitake-san? I could feel my ears perking up. I don't know about that, but you have to make preparations before you elope. Leave a note or quit their job or something. It's an elopement because they didn't leave a note or message. The thought that I'll never see the young nurse's face again makes me rather sad. Oh, was she a nurse? Oh, yeah, the blondie. I think she was a nurse. Ah, working here maybe. Takano-san is an upstanding young woman. Be fine wherever she goes. She'll be fine wherever she goes. So her name was Takano-san. That woman with Tomitake-san. And she worked at this clinic? Oyashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. Ooh, spooky. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing. It didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. That line sounds really ominous. Foreshadowing? Flag? これ。Hinamizawa にいる限り、ここからは逃げられない。Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far into the middle of the road where I'd be in a car's way? I moved further off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. I knew it! こいつだやっぱり。前原さん Good day to you. It was Oishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved at me. What's up today? School break? Just not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to buy lunch and head back home. That's great. I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? If you're not feeling up for it, then don't mind me. I was just going to lie down after going home anyway. And I didn't really have a cold. I doubt you'd want to eat at one of these local places. Let's go into town. Oh, this is... Let's go into town. It's a bit of a drive. Is that alright? Oishi route. Oishi to date. We're going on a date with Oishi. I know a pretty good place. I'd finally begun to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. I went with Oishi-san, riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. So he really has the AC up. エアコンすごいマックスにつけてるのかなKeiichi likes the Oji-san. I'm sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you? No, but Rena did. No. I recalled Rena, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thoughts still creeped me out. Andrew-san, good morning. Ohayo. Thank you so much for coming. ありがとう来てくれて。いらっしゃい。With a big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This was where Tomitake-san died. They've hit a snag on the investigation regarding Tomitake-san. Oishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye. They believed it was caused by hallucinogens, given how he was clawing out his own throat. But a drug that could cause that to happen so suddenly, it's extremely hard to come by. Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy... I'm not doing this in his voice, wait. Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. You know that thing you see in comics all the time? Where there's a drug that if you put it in them, it doesn't leave any traces. It exists. Suck. Eh? Succinyl. Succinyl. え、これどうやって言うの? How do you say this word? Something or other. Well, it's pretty common. But you see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that would cause Tomitake-san to react like that. Suck. Then, you're saying the police concluded Tomitake-san just died from the curse? I couldn't help but feel that the police were worthless. I just wanted the idea of a curse to be disassociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. But putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt, he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. That was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans. That made me a bit relieved. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot and I followed Oishi-san into the shop. Oh, bye, Trix-san. Good night. Oyasumi nasai. Thank you for stopping by. Arigato. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course there wouldn't be children in here in the middle of a weekday. 2, please. Non-smoking. This way, please. When you're ready to order, please call me over. We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth. So, what do you think? Aren't the waitress's outfits here cute? Hentai! Hentai Oji-san! そんな目的でここに来たのか。変態おじさん。He came here with that purpose in mind? Bruh. Huh? Well, I guess? The shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses than the food, you see. Uh-huh. Oishi-san, you're leering. Hmm? Am I really? Yabai. Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while taking Let me redo that. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Oishi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the table. Yesterday we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we? Yeah, that it was the village of man-eating demons, or something like that. I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my grandmother about it this morning. Oishi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket. Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onikakushi, or Ogre's Abyss. Ogre's Abyss. Baba-san, Hooters. You know, I was thinking that. I was thinking Hooters, but I was like, would anyone know that? So I didn't say it. But yeah, it's like, is it Hooters? Papa. Onikakushi. That's quite the name. Yeah, it does sound like Onikakushi. The name is still around. The marsh where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Ogre's Abyss. It's said that the depths of that marsh connect to the realm of demons. Of course, nobody had told me anything about such an ominous marsh. And you see, it appears they were both feared and revered. A respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was kind of a deification. A village of inhumane creatures. Seems the demons were sending, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Taking villages with an incurable illness into the Ogre's Abyss and healing them, for example. Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu long nose goblins or sending would be a more apt description. They don't seem like such terrible people even though they were called demons. But they were still man-eating demons. According to the story my grandma told me, as payment for treating the son's illness, let us eat the mother who brought him here, was apparently how things went. Wow, yabai! That's scary. That's yabai. Rent's cheap. I bet you that's why Keiichi's dad moved here. Cause he wanted a big studio and rent's cheap. The price of curing her son was herself? That's unsettling. Of course, the mother took her son and ran. Then you see, all the people who lived in Onikakushi. The demons chased them down, rounded them up, and captured them. And ate them. I don't know. The entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. In the end, it seems both the mother and son were caught and eaten. The end. There's a problem with this story. Both witnesses in this story were eaten, so nobody will be able to tell the tale. Sharp. Huh? Bwahaha, there are plenty of old fables like this. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But, well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onikakushi band together to capture the prey. I recall that Mion said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part about unification overlapped. Normally they hunted down a single person and they chose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh? That caught my attention. That's peculiar. Yeah. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant. My grandmother told me that you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. So what does this all mean? It means you mustn't ever help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. It seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. Naruhodo? Naruhodo. Okay. What happens if you break the rule? Well, they're man-eating demons after all. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with his theory that the perpetrators were all the village families. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. Then, Oishi-san, I guess it looks like it's either the village families or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes. What do you think, Maebara-san? Ah, excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please. That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say the last part. I waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Quiet BGM. Gatorsaur-san, you can now comment. Nice. Welcome back. Arigato. Yeah, don't disturb the demons, hon. Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Satoshi-kun. Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around in his coffee. So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Maebara-san, I had a bit, really just a little bit, okay, of background checking done with on them. Okay. Wait, let me read your comment, Gator-san. Oishi Oji-san likes Oishi dine and drive with the Oishi waitress. Nice one. If Oishi-san had said this to me before, I would have been furious since he told me earlier not to suspect my friends. But as I was now, I couldn't. This might sound pretty stupid. Maebara-san, if you feel that it's stupid, please say so. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I've ever seen from him. Quiet. What is he gonna say? Oh no. やばいこと言うんじゃないか? ねえ. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san. But none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This is probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced the voice. I would not run from the truth. 真実からは逃げない. Please. That was all I could utter. お願いします. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began. The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Sonozaki-san. Multiple altercations. Oh no. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. In the second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? They had a daughter. Her name is Satoko Hojo-san. Huh? Satoko meaning Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the third year, you see. The daughter is Rika Furude-san. Rika-chan doesn't have parents then? Aww. Rika-chan was... I'm sad now. I feel bad for Rika-chan. The housewife who died in the fourth year you know already, don't you? It was a step-on of Satoko Hojo-san. Oh, okay, I thought it was Rena's or something. Okay. But still. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody as she had lost both of her parents in the accident. かわいそう。かわいそうなんだけど、wait, I feel really bad for all of them now. めっちゃかわいそうなんだけど、この話。It's really sad. She lived in the victim's house. I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from. Well, you haven't been doing a good job distancing yourself from Akeiichi. But, clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared the fourth year, by the way. He was Satoko-san's older brother. What? Wait, just a second. Okay, I saw that coming. I thought Satoshi was related to Satoko, yeah. Because they had the same last name. It took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last of the things I shouldn't have heard. Oh no. All the victims seem to be connected to a group of friends. That has to be just a coincidence. Maebara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking. Mion? Satoko? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? It couldn't be, it just couldn't be. Oh, Rena is different, isn't she? Rena isn't connected with the victims at all. Rena Ryugu-san was living in a suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims. He said it in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all the windows. Oh. Rena-chan! Rebellious Rena! Oh no. Rena did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same silly Rena had? Oh, she must have really hated school. I couldn't even imagine it. She was going through a rebellious phase. It seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling medication. Does anyone know what that is? Wait, I'm gonna look it up. ちょっとごめん、検索してみる. I'm gonna look up what that is. I've never heard of it. Is it something like dissociative disorder or something? I'm not sure. Give me a sec. Dysautonomia or autonomic dysfunction is a condition in which the autonomic nervous system does not work properly. This may affect the functioning of the heart, bladder, intestine, sweat glands, pupils, and blood vessels. Interesting. So it's not mental, it's physical? I think it's physical? I've never heard of it though, so that's pretty interesting. Okay. I wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown. I heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Neither of those matched Rena's easygoing personality. Yeah, Rena is like, hi, and how, you know? That's Rena-chan, we know. And in a counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up. And quite a bit at that. It? What's it? What did? I pressed forward carelessly. There couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. Ah, quiet. Rena's possessed. We're out of here. Don't mess with Rena. Oyashiro-sama? Before she even lived in Hinamizawa? It felt like someone's stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Hello, Yusuke-san. Welcome. Arigato kite kurete. We're playing Higurashi Part 5. Arigato. Enjoy your stay. Why? Why had Rena spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? Seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night. Standing over her pillow, looking down at her. My mind froze. I couldn't process what I was being told. A while after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Ah, that's right. She's not an outsider. Huh? According to the residency register, the Ryuga family used to reside in Hinamizawa. Ah, so she's connected. 繋がってるじゃん、これ。Hinamizawaに. Rena-san moved to Ibaraki right after she finished elementary school. My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Maebara-san, are you alright? Shall we stop? Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I understand Rena. Then, how about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Who was he connected with? Irritated, I let out one final reprisal. All of them. Have you forgotten Maebara-san? Didn't you all spend the night of the festival together quite merrily? Time to move out of this village. It's crazy. もう引っ越そうもう。In fact, we should have never moved here in the first place. I don't know why we moved here in the first place. Quite a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves. Now there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent as my brain turned to mush. We should get going. Ah, Maebara-san, did you take your afternoon medicine? I'd completely forgotten about the medicine I'd gotten today until Oishi-san said that. Wait, why does Oishi-san know I need to take medicine? なんで Oishi-san が知ってるの? Did I mention it? I don't remember. Okay, whatever. I got another glass of water and we left the shop after I chugged it down. Drive me to the airport. I don't know if there's an airport nearby here. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It was almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. Fresh Prince song. Badum. That big jolt was from the difference in the elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Really just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer. I did check with you first, didn't I? If we should just stop. Not that! Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating the string of suspicious incidents. But why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing and I couldn't help. Everything Oishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that it looked suspicious to Oishi-san, as I was part of Mion's circle of friends. I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my grandma wants. So while I'm still on the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them. Oishi-san didn't really give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years on this job. Maebara-san, you're the one in danger. Ah! He thinks we're the next victim or something. He's probably right. Huh? I wanted to reply with, that was absurd. But in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watanagashi next year. So I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi I might be the victim. I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the string of cases has been solved, so don't bring it up again, or so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Pressure from what? Keiichi's going to have a fun week. Yep, we're just about to get started. Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine? After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. The chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. I won't mind if you just forgot everything I told you today. That's not how it works, Oishi. But I'm still going to keep investigating. I'll end Oyashiro-sama's curse this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens? It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Maebara-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all of this at you while you're taking a day off because you're sick. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing, and I was just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it. I don't want to die. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Yeah, Oji-san could at least, help us, be ready, right? Jeez. I'm gonna drink some water. Mizu nomimasu. Oh, shoot, that might have been loud. I'm sorry. ごめんね、今のうるさかったら。音大きかったかもね、今の。Sorry. Anyway. Wait, the AC from the car leaves the bottle far. I was gonna point that out, but I decided that maybe I'm just being dumb and I didn't point it out. Oh, I mean, holy shit to water. I mean, it's like 1980 something, right? Maybe that's what cars did back then. I'm not knowledgeable. I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. It was probably Mom. Mom was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. Moshi Moshi, this is the Maebara residence. Oh, he's alive. Hello, this is Mion. How are you doing? Mion-chan. Is this one of Keiichi's friends? Keiichi is resting now, but shall I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Ahahaha, sorry. Wahahaha, idiot. You fell for it. Huh? Kei-chan! After exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Oh, I was so confused for a second, but he tricked her. Okay. Naruhodo. It was a prank. Except I was suspicious of her, even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. I'm relieved that you seem well. When I was really worried, you know. Satoko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. Rika-chan said, how unfortunate he's sick. Nipa! Heh, looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know, so Kei-chan, is that a bad time to come pay you a visit? A visit? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. I was told to share them, so I'll bring you some. Ooh, mochi! Give me some! Give me some. Mion-chan equal. Good girl, Mion. Waifu material. Hey now, you'll catch my cold. Not to worry. Both Rena and I are too stupid to catch a cold. This is a Japanese saying. You guys might know it. Baka wa kaze o hikanai. Yeah, that's a Japanese saying, right? Idiots don't catch colds. See you! Be there in a bit. She hung up cheerfully. Rena's coming too? That's what it sounded like. Oh no. Anything but Rena. I was still concerned about meeting Rena, but I guess if she was with Mion. Yabai, quiet. I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that. Sorry, I can't look at her the same anymore. Wait. Thank goodness you look well. I was worried. Ooh. Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who was recovering, and Rena looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in a condition for it. You don't say? It seemed my face appeared a bit sullen. The oohs are back. Then here, Keiichi-kun. These are the mochi Mi-chan's grandma made, ooh. Rena held out the package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It was quite hefty. Aw, thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion. Yep. There's one that I made in there as well. Wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one, ooh. Did she poison it? 怖い。毒入ってるんじゃないの？レナちゃんが作ったの This is Kei-chan's homework since he missed the club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. Eh? Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Yeah, I miss me on swimsuit Sprite. Man, what are you going to do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans? Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. The other people here will get angry, Uwu. Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right, let's get going. Ah, by the way, Kei-chan. Yeah? That threw me off so bad! ちょっと待って! What did you eat for lunch? やばい! ちょっと怖い! 何? What did I do? The sudden question startled me and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I had never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. Yeah, we had lunch with Oishi. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so insane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't even care at all about what I ate. Are you sure she's just not asking it normally and like Keiichi's just being like paranoid or something? I feel like Keiichi's like, you know, overthinking things. Like maybe she just wants to know what we ate for lunch, right? Maybe it's just it was a normal, regular question. Yes. It was very oishi. Yamete mo! Stop making puns, stop! Yamete! Oh, that's so funny. Nice one. Anyway. I ate out. She must have suspected that I was with Oichi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Yamete could have stopped. Except contrary to the efforts I had made, there was a pause before they replied. Rena-chan mo kwaai. So you ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun. The glimmer from Rena's eyes had changed at some point as well. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the fine ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew, that's how it looked to me. Well, was it good? Yes. Oh, why are you asking me this? Mio was speaking in an unusually low tone. Almost as if she knew that I'd eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There's no way they could have known where I was. Seems you're with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Flop. The package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from her face, making me go pale. What? Oh? Keiichi-kun? Who was he? Could it be a person from before, I wonder? I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything? How do you know that? It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Because There's nothing this old man doesn't know. Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan, what did you talk about? It seems like you got pretty worked up over it, too. We weren't talking about it, you guys. It didn't have anything to do with you or Rena. Isn't it a bit strange to hear our names come up even though nobody asked about that? Keiichi, you're stupid! Keiichi, you're such an idiot! Kana. Why is Keiichi brain dead? Oh my gosh. Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much it felt like it was going to explode. Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that? I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly. Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down. That's true, we should both head back home. Eh? As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. What? They just went home? Okay. I hadn't moved a muscle since I had dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. What? Just as the door was just about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once again. A single eye peered in through the narrow slit, and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again. See you, Kei-chan. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, alright? Okay. Thud. The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle, even after their low laughter died off into the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I had talked about? Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? Gas. Gotta step on the gas. I feel like at this point the best thing he could do is run away. He cannot talk this out anymore. That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked with Oishi-san about one thing, and they were warning me that that was unnecessary. What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oyashiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole. As well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. Oh, see ya, Adrian-san. Bye. Good luck at your Chinese class. Bye-bye. Arigato. Thank you for stopping by. No, more precisely. That Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud slap. If only that would wake me from this nightmare. But for some reason it felt like I was punched a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down. Ochitsuke. Settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with the Oishi-san was probably because somebody from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had an ulterior motives. That could be true. It could be that Keiichi was just overthinking it. That's it. That has to be it. Thinking about it that way, it was the same with Rena. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rena, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. Oops, I'm just turning off my heater here. Give me a sec. Okay. It felt like my mind was mixed up like a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deepwood marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. That's an ugly image. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Is Keiichi going mad? Why do I, kind of feel like Keiichi's going mad? I don't know if Keiichi's okay. This is messing with him. Spending time with them was fun. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and I couldn't make heads or tails of everything, they were really kind to me. Rena was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was really pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. And talking of not getting bored, Rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. 妄想列車 But after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. Are you sure things started going crazy? Are you sure you're not going crazy, Keiichi-kun? Then hearing from Oishi-san, that Mion, Rena, and Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Oishi-san told me that all the strange stuff. It's Oishi's fault! Oishiのせいじゃん、これは。でもさ、isn't the timing too convenient? I still think it's strange that, this is all just starting to happen now. I don't know. Yeah, is he gonna eat the mochi? お餅食べるのかな? At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. And I even shouldn't have heard about the past incidents from Tomitake-san the night of the Watanagashi. Yep, ignorance is bliss. Curiosity killed the cat. So many sayings. If I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity. If I just hadn't. That's right. So that's why they killed Tomitake-san. That imprudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. They'll probably kill Oishi-san as well. I'm just gonna assume that word is for kill, right? For trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Is Keiichi okay? Keiichi メンタルやられてるよね、これ。Keiichi's gone. This is one thing that you don't really get from the anime. It's that inner turmoil and narration from Keiichi's side. And you can really tell things are not going well for him. Yeah, Keiichi's dumb. Keiichi's brain dead. I read a review for this game that said MC is brain dead, and now I understand. Of course, a guy like that is going to be killed. Both Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just die. Huh? Keiichi-kun 大丈夫? Keiichi-kun has snapped. Keiichi-kun has lost it. Oh no! It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. Okay. 戻ってきた. He's back. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. 大丈夫He needs to chill, yeah. I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling like I had just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I had completely recovered. Are you sure? 本当に? I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all. Ah, that reminds me I need to eat those mochi. Guys, it's here! The mochi scene! Woo! I hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. What, are you gonna avoid it? I remember the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery. That was something else. Uber Eats. Uber Eats. Yubi time. I picked up the package it dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It would be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. Ooh, that sounds tasty. Oishisou. Welcome back. I can't talk. Welcome back, Adrian-san. Welcome. Good luck on that activity. Uber Eats. Uber Eats. Uber Eats. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Sorry. Anyway. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. A, B, C, D, and E? Kawaii. It's Russian roulette. Now then, they said Rena made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. Baba-san, yeah, honestly, me too. I wonder if they'll ever play the game. Yeah, I've seen a few of them play. They don't really play visual novels, do they? But it would be nice if they did. It would be funny. The biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena's had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. Looks like this challenge depends on whether or not this one is Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and wait. Guys, I just realized something. Can't he just cut it? 今気づいたんだけどさ、食べる前に切ればいいよね。普通に、半分に。Before he eats it, can't he just like cut it in half and see what's inside? If he's really that scared of what's inside, can't he just look? ねえ。ねえ。I guess it's really true that Keiichi's brain dead. Keiichi kun honto baka da na. I think it's hard to cut the mochi. You could still cut mochi. You could still cut it. No, it's sticky, but you could still cut mochi. I mean, again, you don't need to like bite into it, right? To find out what's in it. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out, if I remembered correctly. So that meant 4 of these were from that large batch. Then what about Rena? She probably only made 1. So she probably spent quite a bit of time on it, meaning the one Rena had made was this one, E. For a moment, I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid. She knew I'd pick up on it, but that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright, my tea is ready too. I'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Keiichi's too stupid, yeah. And yeah, VNs do take a while, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I wasn't sure if I should play this either, because I wasn't sure if you guys would enjoy watching me. But you know what? I want to play it, so I'm playing it. Oh, hello, good evening! Tai-san, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Arigato! We're playing Higurashi no naku koro ni, part 5. Keiichi's about to eat some yabai mochi. Sus mochi. Not bad. The smooth bean paste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. Ah, yeah, tea and mochi taste very good. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Yeah, Keiichi had a bad, mental breakdown. Keiichi brain dead. He's so brain dead he doesn't even know that he could just cut this mochi if he's so sus of it. You know? Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. But, well, first, a bite. This is quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavor. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factors will be presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena the challenger were the sides you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had one bite of Rena's. I would probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. Shook. Mogu mogu. It seems my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. It didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. Nani? Koi. What? What was this? Oh no, is it like razor or something? Ah, koi. More VNs, please. Wait, you like me playing VNs? I'm so glad. That makes me happy. I agree. VNs are amazing. Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Rena had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act, and I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. At first I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Rena's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It was also a bit too hard to be hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of a metallic sheen on one end of it. Ah yes, there was a hole for where thread goes through, like it was a sewing needle. Oh, you like VNs, Adrian-san? I love VNs too. They're long, but they're so engaging. I really like them. Interesting. Yes, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Oh no. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well. Quite sharply. It really did just look like a sewing needle. Wait, then what else would it look like? Huh? What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago? Yeah, like, if it's a sewing needle, it's a sewing needle, right? There's nothing else it could look like. Is Keiichi okay? Are you sure it's a needle? Keiichi, are you sure it's a needle? I couldn't answer, but a voice inside me already knew and let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. So it wasn't a needle, or it could have been a needle. We just don't know what it was. Keiichi thought it was a needle, but he actually won't tell us what it actually is, which is strange because he's holding it. I'm starting to doubt Keiichi. ちょっとKeiichi君自身が怪しくなってきてないこれ。I'm not sure if Keiichi's like saying accurate things anymore. Suddenly, I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain at the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly, I felt the urge to vomit. Then, the sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands over my mouth, and after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was intensely throbbing. Baba-san. Yep, let them know how much you like the mochi. It was delicious. Then it finally registered exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. Before I could think of the correct word, my hands were already in a move. Eh? Splat, plop, splot. I tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall suddenly invoked a terrible omen in my mind. Guys, I'm gonna drink some water. ちょっと水飲みます。ちょっと待って。もう何が起こってるのかね。I don't know what's going on. How to stay hydrated. Oh, I haven't seen D-Frat. Oh! No, never mind. I saw I know what scene you're talking about. The bento scene, right? Yeah. Never mind. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The bento scene. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. Wait, I'm gonna drink more water. Rated E for everyone. Wasn't the mochi also like letter E or something? I think he's going paranoid. Nah. I mean, he's been, but... I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. Wait, so we never knew if he was actually bleeding from the throat. He seemed like he thought something happened, but we don't know if it actually happened, right? Wait, I didn't read that, I think. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. This wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What had happened in Hinamizawa? What is happening in Hinamizawa? What would happen? I didn't know the answer to any of those questions. Where did I break a taboo? Regardless, now Ren and Mion and the others, they consider me an enemy. And they thought I should just die. I won't let you kill me, not for such a pointless reason. I fell into restless sleep as I was crushed by my negative emotions. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless marsh. Yabai. Did we finish a chapter? Okay. Revenge! Achievement unlocked. Hard to swallow. Alright, let's save. End of chapter 9. Woo! You know what's weird? I haven't made a single decision yet in this visual novel. Or sound novel, it's called. So far, all I've been doing is just playing, like reading reading the story. There hasn't been anything that I had to like decide on. Interesting. Hard to swallow, quite literally. Okay. Let's look at the new tips. What's a drug that makes you commit suicide? Let's cut to the chase. Is there a drug that causes someone to kill themselves? Fumino-chan! Hello! Thank you so much for coming! Welcome! ありがとう来てくれて。ありがとう。 We're playing Higurashi. Not directly, no. That's quite a roundabout response. You're saying there's one that does it indirectly? Something that puts you into suicidal mental state, like that? That's hard to say. What would a suicidal mental state be? Like a person with a serious bipolar disorder. It's believed that people are most likely to attempt suicide when swinging from depression to mania. Clinical depression and bipolar disorder are different. Clinical depression indicates a prolonged state of depression, whereas bipolar disorder is characterized by a passive depressed state accompanied by a very active manic state. Individuals with clinical depression suffer from low self-esteem and are quite pessimistic, but rarely commit suicide. They do not have the willpower to commit suicide, nor does mania on its own lead to suicide. That has an opposite effect, filling the person with confidence and making them feel as though they're walking on air. Thus, they do not commit suicide. Okay. That's interesting. Neither state causes suicide, but when the condition changes, they might do so. There is a desire to commit suicide when in a state of depression, but they do not have the willpower to commit such a formidable act. But when they enter mania, they gain a burst of willpower and their body moves as they desire. I see. So it means they gain the willpower to commit suicide. That's how it goes. That's why patients are given sedatives during that time to keep them from acting on their impulses. Then was Tomitake bipolar? People who suffer from bipolar disorder generally commit suicide by more civilized means, like, say, hanging or jumping off a building. Self-harm as though going through withdrawal is completely different. Tomitake's death wasn't civilized. So one would think it was caused by some foreign substance. As I said from the start, tell me of a drug that causes someone to commit suicide. There are reports that meth overdoses produce a condition that resembles bipolar disorder. It's a stimulant. Barbiturate. Is that how it's pronounced? Overdoses are also reported to cause erratic behavior. That's a sleep aid. There are no signs of stimulants. Are there any other possibilities? All I can think of is that it's some sort of illness. Something like Graves' disease, which affects the thyroid and is known to cause symptoms that resemble bipolar disorder. Oh, I know that one. But Graves' disease has many characteristic symptoms of its own. The deceased exhibited none of them. I wonder, is there something that could happen more spontaneously? Something that fits this case and would cause someone to want to commit suicide all of a sudden? Are you familiar with organic mental disorders? In short, it's a condition where the brain is out of whack due to physical injury or illness. It can be caused by drugs, but it can also be caused by physical trauma, encephalitis, a stroke, or even tumors. Basically, even without a drug, one can succumb to an irregular mental state. The deceased was surrounded after being chased, and his life was in danger, right? All the stress could have messed with his own brain chemistry. He could have hit his head, and those factors combined might have caused him to mutilate himself. It's a possibility. Could you explain it to me in more simpler terms? Wahaha. Basically, he knocked his noggin in the brawl, and that made him go haywire. Nohahaha. Then his lady didn't have any intent to kill. Just smacked him in a bad place when he nicked some change. The two plump men laughed hoarsely. But of course it's not like that. Ahem. Undoubtedly. If it was habitual drug use, if it was something mental, the deceased body holds the key. How are things on your end? Oh my goodness, look at the time. I need to get back sooner. Kuma-chan will get angry with me. Yeah. Good luck. Best wishes. Best wishes. All these big words, too much for my small brain. Me too. Yeah, if Keiichi was smart, he could have done a lot of things. Let's go. Threat. Those guys just now. They had national Diep badges. Then it's Prefectural Assembly member and City Councilor Sonozaki. That's interesting. The Prefectural Assembly member and City Councilor are related. It's dirty is what it is. Shouting out each other's name during elections. While one is up for election, the other one holds an assembly and they double up their campaign activities. Blatantly. I don't know much about this stuff, but isn't that against the rules of election? As long as they have no prior consolation, there are no restrictions on their political activities. Kuma-chan, the investigation division is going to be pretty tough for you. You should at least brush up on election policies. I'm not suited for the intelligence division, 'cause I'm dumb. Hehehe. There's Prefectural Assembly member Sonozaki and City Councilor Sonozaki. Also the mayor of Hinamizawa. All of them involved with the Sonozaki family. Huh. What crap. Looks like they were seen off by the department chief and the deputy chief. It came to me. That night, when the chief invited me along to get some oden, I thought that was it. Oden? You have a lot of connections, so you might have heard something, did you? Nope. Not a thing. Ma'am, I'll take the tofu fritter and fish cake. A counselor barked at me in the police chief's stead. Oh my, is that so? Ma'am, I'll take another bowl. Prefectural Assembly member Sonozaki and City Councilor Sonozaki were both intimidating. A snot-nosed carrier police chief couldn't even handle being yelled at by them. They're like Yakuza. A petition with their name came up regarding how the investigation of the Hinamizawa incident is being handled. Goodness me? I've not the faintest. No need to play dumb. You're reopening the past cases regarding Hinamizawa, aren't you? I've already got my hands full with Tomitake's death, actually. Nahaha. Really? If that's true, then there's no problem. There was a period of silence. While we were silent, we made headway on our food and drink. Well, that was quite the feast. This month has been a bunch of losses for me, so my wallet was feeling the pinch. Much appreciated. Nah, it's nothing. Tell me a good horse again. I'll bet on the same one as you. Nahaha. Nahaha. I haven't been doing well there lately. Is it like horse racing? I haven't been able to read the horses at all. Taxi! I'm going by train. The police chief is taking a taxi. I have my own car, but it'd be rash to drive it home. Can't blow it right before retirement with a DUI. Even though he could still rattle it off, it looked like his legs were already goo. Pushing him into the cab, I gave the driver the police chief's address. Well, see you again tomorrow. Happy New Year! Oishi-san. Yeah. The past incidents have all been closed. Stop lumping them all together. Those villagers half believe it's really a curse. Well, I'm not too convinced. You're going to be retiring next year, aren't you? Weren't you going to pay off your mortgage with your pension and move up to Hokkaido with your mom? Mother pines to return to the land of her birth. It's the least I can do. And the pension, well, it'll let me enjoy myself in Susukino. Nahahaha. The police chief may issue a special retirement salary raise, he says. A public servant's pension is calculated based on their monthly salary. So if you were to get a raise right before retirement, your bonus, 2-year salary, would be inflated. And you'd get a heavy surplus of funds. That tends to be how it's done around here. Ooh, money. Of course, it's not a custom that's thought of highly. The difference between the bonus and the pension is quite a bit. I'd expect nothing less exemplary from our egghead chief. But, well, they say our salary is compensation for our hard work, but in the end it really just has to do with the passage of time. That's not something I can laugh at, but I'll laugh through it anyway. I don't think it's anything exemplary, but given how hard you've worked, it's not odd that you're getting that much of a pension. I'd like to get that much myself. If I can get it, well, of course I'd want it. Nahaha. You'll get it. You're an adult after all. Sorry for holding you up here, driver. Thank you very much. I closed the door roughly, interrupting the chief's conversation a bit rudely. It looked like the chief still had something to say, but he just smiled wryly and waved. I waved in return. The cab sped up gradually and soon disappeared among the sea of lights. Nahahaha. Oh man. I wonder if I really can repay that loan. That one was long. 今のちょっと長かったね。So, it was about your boy Oishi. Yeah. I don't know if I got much out of that, other than Oishi has some issues on his end. Okay, guys. I'm gonna go feed my cats and get some more water. So I'll be right back in about 3 minutes? Right? Okay? ちょっと待っててね。猫に餌あげてくるから。そして水ももうちょっと取ってくるから。Maybe I'll grab a snack too. おやつも取ってこようかな。I guess anywhere he eats the food is oishi. Jokes. Alright. So I'm gonna be right back. じゃあね。ちょっと待っててね。できます。Let me turn on the music for you guys. There you go. BRB. Tadaima. I'm back. Oh, welcome back, Trick-san. Thank you. I brought a snack. So I made some tea. お茶作ってきたんだけど I made some tea and also I brought a snack. おやつ持ってきました。I brought ampan. Red bean bun? Is that what it is? Sweet red bean bun? アンパン持ってきた。そうそう。Just like how Keiichi was eating red bean paste mochi, I'm eating red bean paste buns. ちょっと食べてもいい? I'm gonna eat some right now. I don't have any mochi in my house right now. アンパン美味しい Yeah. It's pretty good. I hope you guys don't mind me eating. Yeah, ampan's really good. It's hard to come by though outside of Japan, right? They don't sell it. This actually a family friend made it for my family. Yeah. She baked it herself. So this is handmade. これね、実は手作りのアンパンなんだよ。家族の友達が作ってくれた。Okay. Hi. Let's keep going then. I'm at 65%. Battery sun's at 65%. バッテリーさん今 65%。なので、もうちょっといけるかな。We could go a little more. Yeah. Alright. Oh wait, I need to turn on the music. There you go. バッテリーさん頑張ってありがとう。頑張ってバッテリーさん。Alright. Let us continue. Dang, your battery sounds better than my battery, so mine only lasts for 30 minutes! Oh my gosh. Well, mine's plugged in though. Are you sure you mean like when it's like... I think you meant when it's not charging, right? If it's while it's charging, that's terrible. But mine is, mine decreases in battery as I'm charging it. Anyway. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of muffled footsteps stomped in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Yeah, while it's not charging, yeah. While my PC's not charging, it runs out pretty fast too. Like an hour maybe? An hour and a half to 2 hours. Yeah. But it still goes down when I'm streaming because it doesn't have enough power to stream. Yeah. Of all things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... Huh? Wah! Eek! I sprung to my feet and threw my covers on my mom, who was opening the door. Whoa! Keiichi? What's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday, I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up, and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, Keiichi? How are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to do it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and Myung. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Hey guys, do you remember like at the beginning of this VN when Satoko was playing pranks on Keiichi and she would like stick thumbtacks to his like door and like his chair and everything? And back then he was just like, haha, very funny, Satoko. But now like whenever like someone tries to pull that prank, he's probably gonna freak out, right? Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. That's all moms. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't physically ill. It'd be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on now, get on up. They say wellness is a state of mind. I'd heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone. Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Rena-chan comes and gets you. Not Rena-chan, please, no! Anything but Rena. Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? He didn't even clean it up? Keiichi, how stupid can you be? Keiichi's really brain dead, isn't he? Ah, yeah, that scene in K-On! He'd freak out. You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. Yeah, Keiichi. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Say sorry. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. When Mion said as she left yesterday, "I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow," came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even really have to think about it. She probably just meant she'd miss you. Oh, hello, Taro. Welcome back. I think you missed Keiichi-kun having like a not nervous, he just had like a mental breakdown because he started doubting everyone and like everything bad was happening. He also received a visit from Rena and Myung, and they scared the heck out of him. They gave him mochi, but apparently there was like a needle in one of the mochis and he almost swallowed it and he got angry. And yeah. Now he's woke up and he's about to go to school, but he doesn't really want to. And he missed the dating scene, yes! Thanks for reminding me. Oishi-san, Maebara-san, yes. Keiichi went on a date with Oishi to a cafe and they had a nice lunch together. And Rena was very jealous. I don't know if she was jealous, but it seemed like she didn't like it. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oishi-san enticing me with something unusual. Meaning, if I didn't watch my mouth or did anything differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All the misery I experienced up until yesterday would, almost creepily, just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep on living like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could. I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rules of theirs, a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? But Mion had given me another chance. She was saying, if I just forgot everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven. Keiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Rena will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked up my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that had happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. Kita, kita, kita. She's here. Ding dong! Ping pong! I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Rena had arrived. Yeah, they usually meet up, yeah. Yeah, DDLC. Good game. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Rena-chan's already here. Hurry, hurry. My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Rena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side. Was it the Rena I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. Guys, I'm gonna take another bite of my ampang, okay? Sorry, I'm hungry. ちょっとお腹空いちゃった。Alright. I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Morning! An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway. Ohayo! I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will it be okay today? I wonder. It will? The manner in which Rena was concerned was, without a doubt, the Rena I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday, pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death, and the terminal illness and suicide, and the lynching and the disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Rena and Mion were scary. Of course, forget it all. Yeah, DDLC is, apparently, yeah. Psychological horror, maybe? Yeah. You might have fun with it, Taro. I think you'd like the game. I played it before, but, that's why I haven't streamed it. It's because I've already played it, and my reactions wouldn't be natural, you know? Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi, too. Forget. Rena once again asked to make sure. Can you make it to school, Uwu? Yeah, I'm fine. Great. Then let's go. Mi-chan's waiting, Uwu. Rena showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief. But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it. Ooh. As we were walking, Rena talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. Then? Satoko-chan's clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. How? She was so cute. Ooh. I missed this, Rena. Everything Rena talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us. Oh my! Keiichi-chan, Rena-chan! Aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead. Uh-oh, did Mi-chan look mad, I wonder? Ooh. We need to hurry up, Keiichi-kun. As they smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back towards me and stuck out a tongue. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile. Ah, Keiichi-kun smiled. Huh, what? Rena stopped and stared at me. I was thinking that you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun, but now you seem fine. Fine, Uwu. With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maebara. How can you still doubt Rena after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedready and delirious? Maybe. I really hoped that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish. There's only one thing that I'd wish for. I would want what happened in the past few days. More specifically, from the night of the Watanagashi up until last night. I wanted all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wished for these past few days. As long as Rena kept on smiling like this, I think it might just become a reality. So I wanted Rena to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling. So, Keiichi-kun. Those mochi yesterday. Did you eat them all? Uwu? Yabai. That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Uwu girls are the most dangerous girls in my opinion. I agree. They're dangerous. Don't mess with them. Don't make them mad. Make sure you eat all their mochi. Rena's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday. Did you eat them all? Of course she wasn't asking a question at face value. In other words, Rena was asking, did you get the message? Oh my gosh, I think my YouTube's not giving me comments at the right, like I think it's giving me slower than my OBS's. Oh well. I'm still getting your comments. I think. Oh, I think now it's working. Okay. Did I miss anything? Okay, no. She was probably trying to convey that. Keiichi-kun? I was reluctant to give an answer. Rena stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Ah. Don't hesitate, Keiichi Maebara. Rena was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. But both my throat and mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. Rena playfully mimicked what I said when I finally squeaked something out. Rena's reaction was still normal. It seemed that there wasn't as long of a pause as I had thought. You can refresh your YouTube studio if you notice you're not getting comments. Ah, yeah. I guess I could, but I'm worried it'd just do something again, so I'm not gonna touch it. I think I'm getting comments now though. Yeah, it should be fine. Let me see. Am I? No, my OBS is still giving me comments faster. Oh well, we'll deal with it for now, unless I really notice it's getting bad. Somehow, I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious! However, my strained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Rena's expression. For a moment I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Rena broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo throughout the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well. I see. So did you eat all of them, I wonder? Ooh? Yes. Keiichi, all you have to do is say yes. My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it. Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rena made? That homework. Was it due today? Yeah, it's due today. Mi-chan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you. Oh no. We both laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. Yeah, I think he's paranoid. Keiichi has been paranoid for a while now, and I think everything he's reading a little too much into, and that's messing with him. If I could just let myself believe, then even I'd think it was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena. Lies! I recalled an unexpected piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Oishi-san told me, didn't he? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all the windows. Rena had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all the windows all throughout her school. Just imagine going through your own school breaking the windows with a bat. めっちゃびっくりした今の。Did you guys jump at that? I really jumped at that one. Jeez. Your classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Haha, もうやめて。びっくり。That scared me. It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying image with the Rena smiling at me right now. But I just had to imagine it. Impossible because it was unimaginable. The naive way of thinking no longer worked. You dropped your phone? I backflipped. Oh, you guys are so funny. The unpleasant piercing sound of shattered glass. The crunchy noise as Rena treads across the broken shards, walking towards me. Rena's classmates going pale as they forget to even breathe. That's a whole lot of damage. Flex tape. I wondered what they did as Rena came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they just jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Or did they run into a staff room after being directed there by the teachers? Probably none of those. Can this game stop? My ears. Yamera! In the face of the blood-curdling sight of Rena bustling window after window, undoubtedly, all they could do was silently clear a path for her. Keiichi's imagining too much. I think he's daydreaming. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Rena to continue. It was far too violent an act for them to seek refuge by looking the other way. That's not to say they were looking the other way. They were doing the only thing they could do to protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves as Rena's new target. What would Rena have done to whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning, I would be the next window. Rena staring into my eyes, shards of glass, crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. What? What? え? 何が起こった? What's happening? I thought he's just daydreaming, right? え、何? Do you guys know what's happening? Oh, I'm supposed to click, okay. Then Rena struck me with the bat over and over again like I was one of those windows. Is he having a nightmare? I thought he was just walking to school just now. Keiichi-kun, どうした? 大丈夫? 気絶したの? Did he like pass out or something? I crouched down onto the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rena didn't care whether it was my head or my back. Jealously, she hits me again and again. What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent, it was completely unnerving. It's because no matter how many times she struck me, I didn't make a pleasant sound as the other windows. She struck me continuously. Over and over again. The sound Rena wanted didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be the next window. Somebody save me. Turning a blind eye unless we're hanging out? But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They gained nothing from saving a cram school tryhard like me. Eventually, there would be a faint sound similar to when you crack open a walnut and some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Rena momentarily lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me. And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all of the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up, and quite a bit at that. What does? She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. 何が起こってるの? What's happening? Following that, Rena was suspended and had regular examinations at the hospital. Then as Rena was undergoing counseling, she said it over and over. Oyashiro-sama. It seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow looking down at her. That was only a piece of their conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture. But it was by no means a happy little conversation. Then what Rena did? Was she saying that a ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? Up until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say that mysterious deaths every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked with Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were the work of men and not of some curse. Except, if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I refused to believe that the curse was real, then I would have to believe those who acted the kindness to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? For what reason? Was Rena? Was everybody? It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro's curse. In the aftermath, Rena had admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rena. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Rena's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew. This was all backwards. Refusing to believe that there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was a better choice, accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Rena and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths? I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'd be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that, but that was no longer possible. Okay, guys, give me a sec. I don't think my comments are loading. I'm gonna see if I could refresh it. Yikes. YouTube's just not listening right now. どうしよう。Are you guys able to hear me? Okay. Never mind, it's back now. Okay. YouTube being YouTube. Yeah. ちゃんと聞こえる? Okay. Okay. I'm just not gonna trust YouTube. Okay. よかった。ありがとう. Moving on then. I had received a message. It was pathetic of me to try to bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of my opponent being human and cursed, I won't let it kill me. As if I would just bend over and give in. For no good reason at all. Huh? Keiichi-kun? You've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder. Well, yeah, see, he's just at school like normal. He was just being delusional. Huh? Inhaling sharply upon hearing Rena's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I realized that we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exorcised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Rena could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Placate? As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped down on my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. The chalk dust went into my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony. Oh no. Oh ha ha ha! How befitting for the truant Keiichi-san. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi and Rena. Man, I haven't seen these two in a while. ずっと見てないね、この二人。Good morning, Satoko-chan, Mika-chan. Not quite in the mood for it, I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently. What is this? How discouraging indeed. Keiichi doesn't seem back to his usual self yet. Yeah, take it easy on him for today, okay? Suddenly, there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt a bit. Hey, Kei-chan, did you get enough rest? It was Mion. My mind was full with the stuff about Rena, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi, that hawkish gaze from yesterday. Yeah, morning. What's with the unenergetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I brought you? Everyone wants to know if you ate the mochi. Because I ate them, I'm like this. Those words were itching to be blurted out. I really just didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over. Huh? What about the homework? Do you have an answer for which one was Rena's? I can't believe you'd forget your homework, Keiichi-kun. Ha ha ha. Sheesh. Then we can't help it. Time for your penalty. Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. There was nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. ちょっとお茶飲みます. I'll drink some tea. That was why. It was so frightening. They acted in a way that, regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi Maebara, no one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. Alright. Should we keep going? Are you guys doing good? みんな大丈夫かな? I'm wondering if I should end it here or like keep going. I think we're halfway through the chapter. Through the current chapter, yeah. どうしようかな? Let me eat some bread. Doing fine? Good. いつも大丈夫。よかったよかった。Woo! Battery sun is 53%. 53%. うん。もうちょっといける？うん。もうちょっといくか。Let's play a little more then. This free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes and pondered the ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous of a situation I was in. You sense deja vu from the 53%? Why? Wait, why? なんで? I had fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it as I was getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understating things. They probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Until they had a method of completely erasing me. They were just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with their threats, it didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation of my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who was using the seat until last year when he disappeared. Deja vu. Don't you guys think like... Yeah, no, I get it now, sorry. Don't you guys think that Keiichi's overthinking things again? もうケイチくんさ、さっきからもうずっとこういうなんか考えばっかりなんだけど、こういうね、なんか妄想みたいな。うん。やばいよね。メンタルやられてるよね、完全。Yeah, he's not okay. He's mentally very like, he's starting to lose it mentally. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn, I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never! But were they really trying to kill me? I've had those contradictory feelings for a while now. Even though I suspected them, I felt I had to cover for them. With all the suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that's just what I want to believe. Doubting my friends? Mochi's tasty though. Mochi oishii. Don't tell that to Mochiki. I wasn't talking about it. I meant the food. I meant the food, Mochi. Covering for them? My life was in danger. Or was it? Actually, I was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, those points were something that should have been deliberated on a long time ago. But really, Rena and the rest of them, were they actually aiming to kill me? The little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolvable trains of thought. Are you an idiot, Keiichi Maebara? The answer should be obvious. But maybe that sewing needle might have just been an accident, right? How could you screw up and drop a sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit of doubt can only go so far. Both Rena and Mion had acted and behaved suspiciously, but maybe it was all some sort of misunderstanding. What kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was outright ludicrous, right? Rena just corrected me from lying, and Mion only asked me what I had for lunch. Mion only asked me what I had for lunch. Rena was standing outside our door eavesdropping for a good hour, you know. She was probably just waiting for my phone call to end. For a whole hour outside your room? And is it normal to go home afterwards without saying anything? You heard from Oishi-san, didn't you? About what Rena did at her formal school? But at the hospital, she said it was Oyashiro-sama's fault. She... Cut it out, Keiichi Maebara. Don't you realize they're out to kill you? I inadvertently blurted those words out loud. Yeah, bye. Hearing myself say that so directly left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to look around to check if anyone else had heard it. My little soliloquy cut a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from Rena and others, part of me somewhere was still trying to deny that. This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal. I knew that. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. Do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends, who had been happily laughing together with up until last Sunday, now intended to kill me, right? You're too soft, Keiichi. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. There was one thing I now understood. I was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Rena and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made that resolution, I heard the bell signaling the end of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would have probably happily jumped into a circle. My, Keiichi-san! How rude of you to even think about leaving! The way Satoko spoke was so typical and familiar, it almost physically hurt. Huh, Keiichi-kun, is today not a good day, I wonder? And we were going to win big together. How? Seeing Rena's expression, which said she was really looking forward to today, was hard to take. Hey, Keiichi, maybe Oishi-san is just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others by lying to me? Slap. Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face. Keiichi-kun? Yeah, was Rena really trying to kill me? I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. I didn't care if it was actually one or not, I just wanted someone to say it was. Gah, yet another weak-willed thought. How did I ever become this naive? Are you alright? Does your head hurt? Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Rena. You're pale! Can you make it home by yourself? Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder? It will? No, it's okay. Sorry. Taro, I also like Rena. 私も実はレナちゃん結構好き。No, it's okay. Sorry. I can get home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily. Since Kei-chan was so bent on a revenge match, we were even going to play the deduction game from before too. Keiichi-san doesn't have the burning desire for a rematch? How pathetic! Nasake na. I would have fought for some dumb taunt. Without even a real retort, I just grabbed my bag and I was about to get up. Simp for Rena. Someone's hand perched itself gently on my head. Keiichi doesn't seem to be well. How very unfortunate. Nipa! It was Rika-chan. She was stretched up as far as she could, doing her best to pat my head with a petite hand. They're all so nice to him. It felt so nice, which made things even harder. Minna yasashi jan. Sorry, everybody. See you. That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind, took out my shoes, put them on, and went on forward. Heart in that heart, Keiichi Maebara. They were, for some unfathomable reason, trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate them. Ocha noimasu. Gonna drink tea? We don't know if she's a yandere though, but she seems like she would be. Because, weren't they my friends? Part of me lamented my naivety, while another part lamented the fact that I had lost something important by lamenting over it in the first place. It felt like my consciousness was being ripped out of my body. If this is what Oyashiro-sama's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey Oyashiro-sama, I was wrong for not believing in your curse, but I believed in it now. Completely. Your curse does exist, so seriously, give me a break. I beg you, come on. Keiichi brain-dead protag. Dinner was unusually bland. It had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing but boiled water. Keiichi's not okay. Soon it won't just be his brain. Dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got into his work, he ate and slept on his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the dinner table, it either meant he had just reached a good point to take a break or he was in a slump. So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivation creators have. Your partnership was just a verbal agreement, wasn't it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it? I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching, but when it gets in the way of business... I wasn't able to pick out much of my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the disgusting food even less appealing. Keiichi's being terrible. He used to like this food and now he's calling it disgusting. It's your mom made it for you. Keiichi's not okay. Staring listlessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought processes I had going on all day long. Friends close to me. No, they used to be friends, but I could no longer trust them. Right now, I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove. They were something I just didn't have. Having just one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation I was in. I put down my chopsticks and looked over at my parents who were still talking about work. The first course of action that came to my mind was to tell my parents everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person from Hinamizawa I could trust 100%. That meant the only people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything that happened up till now, would they understand? Rena, for example. The neighborly Rena, who was so diligent in looking after me, came to get me every day, and sometimes brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? Maybe she doesn't. Maybe it's just you, Keiichi. That's why you can't explain it. No matter how I explained it, it would probably be difficult for anybody to comprehend. My somewhat eccentric dad wouldn't understand, and my high-strung mom would probably drag me off to a psychiatrist in a blink of an eye. How did the topic in the chat get to re-zero? Who's Rem? Echidna, best girl. Obviously. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd be putting my parents in danger as well. Considering that the victims in the past incidents were often married couples, I couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Maebara family to have an accident or to just vanish into thin air, it was easily possible in Hinamizawa. What was important here was that knowing something unnecessary put you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. As long as my parents were here, this house would be a safe haven for them. I knew these were just assumptions based on conjecture on top of conjecture. Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was the pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I had to concede that it was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. Emuri, best girl. ありがとう。たぶり。I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess. Now to get out of it, I had to rely on him. Meaning, it was all going according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the waves as bait. Then, when the fish started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull up the big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action. So then, what should I do? Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites. But I wasn't simply bait. There were lots of ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge just enough to tag out to Oishi-san. No question, it was going to be hard. The timing to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in the city, not Hinamizawa, so if I phoned him in my moment of need, it would take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run away for those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a rendezvous point for dire situations or something, I'd just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrived. Okay, I can almost see it now. I was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen, but now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Got to go, I'm hungry. Ah, bye-bye, go eat. Bye-bye, arigato, thank you for coming. Enjoy your food. Tamuri versus Fumi. Oh yeah. It would probably be best if I had a concealed weapon for when things got rough. Oh. Typically, that would call for a switchblade, but that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, that also wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remember there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident with that when push came to shove. If I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon may be enough to deter them. Hello, Corona-san! Hello! Hi! Thank you so much for coming! Don't worry! ありがとう! 来てくれて. I'm about to finish up though. But it's okay. Also, one more thing, insurance. It could be something like a note, a memo. I could write down everything that's happened as a sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanish, the journal will be left behind. With my journal in his possession, Oishi-san should be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in the conversation about work and went back to my room. He's gonna get a bat. I tore out a piece of paper from my notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal was for summer homework in elementary school. In the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead. So I should only write down the facts. How should I start? I jotted down my thoughts as they came. I, Keiichi Maebara, am in fear for my life. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but it's funny. I, Keiichi Maebara, am in fear for my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up often in detective stories. I never even dreamed that I would be in the type of situation where I'd write it in myself. I do not know why they're after my life. Rena and the others were suspicious, but I had no proof. And that's why I couldn't write anything more. I laughed wryly at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get the hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most, though, was that this journal never needed to play its part. Here I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would seem like I was just delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person who had written this was of sound mind, I chose not to write anything else at this point. I mean, I think Keiichi doesn't have a sound mind anymore at this point anyway. Is this the nail anime? Why does everyone know it by that? I guess. But we're not there. That's in a different game, I think. I just needed to add more as I learned more about the truth. I folded the paper and thought about a place to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was the chance that they would uncover it instead. On the other hand, if it was too obscure of a location, then there was a risk of nobody finding it at all. Taro, it's kind of spoilers. It's just, Higurashi, the anime, is known by one infamous horror scene. And that's what people refer to. Yeah. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick my folded note on the back of it with scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back into its normal position. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I needed to set it up such that if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it from countless different angles until I was satisfied, and I made my way downstairs. My parents were still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon, so I cut in. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to talk to you about. I never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned towards me. What is it, Keiichi? I have a favor to ask you. Please listen. Just in case, yeah? If it's not urgent, can we do this later? Right now, Mommy and Daddy have something urgent they're talking about. I didn't think their talk was more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request. Just in case, okay? If I die. He sounds like he's about to commit suicide or something. Jesus, Keiichi, can't you say it better? Both of my parents' eyes went as wide as saucers. That's not how you start. Yeah. If I die, I want you to push the clock on my wall in my coffin. Sorry, I want you to put the clock on my wall in my coffin. If they did that, then they'd probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. MC is brain dead. They're so concerned now. I couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class and I really like it. This is so random. This is so random. So please. What's the matter, Keiichi? Did something happen? Mom was finally able to ask me with a questioning gaze. Of course, this was a normal response for when someone's son suddenly talked about a subject like this. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted them to think about the clock in my room. With the awkward mood leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my room. I want to get to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Saying only that, I left the living room. I needed to get to school early tomorrow and secure the bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rena. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my mom call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anybody. I wouldn't be killed, not when I still knew nothing. Alright! Did we finish the chapter? 終わったかな? You have received new tips, not feeling so hot. Achievement unlocked, chasing shadows. Alright. Save. End of chapter 10. Woo! I wonder how many more chapters are left. I'm guessing like 2 or 3 more. I think we're nearing the end of this game. もうすぐ終わりなんじゃない? Alright, let me pull up my OBS. Woo. ちょっと待って。Oh no, it's glitching. Ah, stop. ちょっと待って。Alright. Alright. Can you guys hear me? That was Higurashi! Woo! Full of content again, as usual. 今日もいっぱいあったね。日暮らし。長いね、やっぱり。でもまあ、もうすぐ終わると思う。It's long, but I think it'll end soon. Yeah. Cool. I just realized I wasn't looking at the comments at all. Let's see. Good. Yay! Thank you guys for coming to watch me play Higurashi. That means I still need to do another part of this. The problem is I don't know how soon I could do it because this week I already have plans for other streams, so... and next week I'm busy until like Wednesday. I feel like at earliest I could do it next Wednesday and you guys would have to wait a week. Is that okay? ごめんね。ちょっとね、今週は他の配信の予定もあるし、来週はね、水曜日までちょっと忙しいんだよね。だからまた日暮らしをやるのは今から1週間後になるかもしれないけど。大丈夫かな? Oh, thank you. Honestly, I wish I could play it sooner because I'm so excited to see what happens. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming, though. I'm just glad you guys came to watch. ありがとう、みんな来てくれて。Alright, so here is my next stream. We're gonna have a pizza party this Friday. What time was it? ちょっと待って、何時か忘れちゃった。This Friday, 8 p.m. Pizza party. And I'm gonna be playing Getting Over It. はい。今週の金曜日の私の時間帯で8時なんだけど、8時 ET。ピザパーティーをします。そして Getting Over It もやります。Yeah. My first time playing Getting Over It. And chat will pick my pizza. Yeah. 頼む宅配ピザは、リスナーさんに選んでもらいます。はい。Pineapple pizza party. You guys are gonna put pineapple pizza on it. マジ? Alright, and I'll show you guys one more future stream I have. Shoot, I need to find the image. Pizza. And then my other stream this Saturday, because this Saturday is Halloween. はい、今週の土曜日はハロウィンなので、I'm gonna be doing a Halloween karaoke stream. はい、イエーイ、はい、ハロウィンのカラオケ配信をします。はい、歌枠、woo! And it's not really gonna be Halloween songs necessarily, but it's gonna be J-pop and any song, okay? So look forward to it. J-pop とアニソンをまた歌います。Also, this outfit. I'll be wearing this outfit. こ ここに着てる衣装も着ます。はい。楽しみにしててね。Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also nervous. I'm gonna practice a bit. I've been singing. It won't be drunk this time. I promise. I won't be drinking. Are you gonna sing metal? I don't know if I could sing metal. Don't skip work. No, that's not good. Don't skip work. There will always be archive. Don't worry. アーカイブ残るので、うん。遊ばせ I didn't even think of. Oh wait, yeah, that one's metal. I didn't even think of that. なるほど。Alright, guys. では、thank you so much for coming today and watching me play another long 2 chapters of Higurashi. Woo! はい。Thank you, thank you. では、おつえむり。バイバイ。おつえむり guys. Thank you so much for coming. Bye bye. Agretsuko. You guys are so funny. Alright, bye bye. I'll think about it. おつえむり。